In this video, we will be tasting and talking about batch 109 of the Eco-Cha Tea Club, a Tie Guan Yin Oolong tea from Taiwan. Batch 109 of the Eco-Cha Tea Club is a Tie Guan Yin Oolong tea from Taiwan, particularly from the Muzha area of the greater Taipei metropolitan area. Muzha is a historical source of tea that has traditionally made this type of tea called Tie Guan Yin, or Iron Goddess of Mercy, as it has been translated into English. And as with many of the teas in Taiwan that are now on the market, they have a historical tradition behind them. Those traditions were recognized by the Tea Research and Extension Station some 50 years ago. And the Tea Research and Extension Station, a part of the Department of Agriculture, kind of standardized the processing methods and the taste or the flavor profile of these teas to an extent, and said, you are making tea from this area, we strongly suggest and encourage you to make tea like this so that we can promote it in a more standardized way. Now, tea farmers can do whatever they want, of course, whenever, but it did help these areas become more recognized because their tea type was more established, so to speak. So this type of tea has been, there's been a competition in the Muzha Farmers Association for decades, and our regular source and good friend by now, after working with him for many years, enters tea annually and ends up receiving high-ranking awards, including top 2%, and within the last several years he got the Champion Award. We have offered his award-winning Tie Guan Yin tea in the past for the tea club. This batch is just one of the batches he made this past spring, and we feel like it represents what we most appreciate in Tie Guan Yin, and that being the most prominent factor being the heavy roast factor. This is more roasted than any tea that we offer, most likely in general anyway, as a tea type. He roasted it 4.5 times, he said, and went up to about 128 degrees Celsius toward the end. And those 4 intervals were broken up over several days, or there were days of rest in between, and it took him over a month to complete the roasting process. The leaves are made of, the leaf material is the hybrid cultivar Jinshen, often referred to as milk oolong for its original flavor quality of having this kind of buttery, creamy, milky aspect to it. That is not really apparent in this heavily roasted form of it. So there's about 2/3 of Jinshen and 1/3 Tie Guan Yin, the original tea strain that this tea was made from, that was brought from mainland China originally. There's very little Tie Guan Yin grown in Taiwan, relatively, so the Tie Guan Yin tea makers in the Taipei area use Jinshen either totally or partially, like our friend does. He likes to have some of the Tie Guan Yin stock in there. It does add a flavor quality that we have recognized being there or not being there, if the case is where he makes a batch of pure Jinshen. So this one is 1/3 Tie Guan Yin, 2/3 Jinshen. I need a sip, I'm thirsty. We're going with, so last month was the award-winning Dongding Oolong tea, a medium roast. This month, December, being a heavier roast because many of our members live in places that's cold in the wintertime. And we really feel like this type of tea will be most satisfying in colder weather. And also, it's a really good palate cleanser or digestive for those holiday feasts. A nice hearty roasted tea after a big meal really sits well. So 4.5 roasts overall, quite thoroughly. We'll have a quick look at the leaves before I go further into tasting. He rolls these leaves by himself, by hand, so to speak. That means there's no use of the modern compressor, a compactor, hydraulic compactor that's used in larger factories. And it's really evident in the shape of the leaves. They're not tightly rolled into small nuggets. They're more elongated. There's more surface area of the leaf exposed, and that helps in both primarily in the roasting and then secondarily in the post-oxidation. If you leave Tie Guan to rest for months or even years on end, it transforms, and this form of rolling and drying, or at least the shape of the leaves, will expose more of the surface area of the leaves and aid in that process. So it's a much more traditionally rolled style of tea. These batches of tea are super small. I mean, he's kind of a one, well, he and his wife work together. His son is now working with them. But they make really small batches of tea, and that is part of his thing. He's very customized in his processing, and he works with the leaves, the material, in a much more attentive way than larger volume production. Okay. Taste again. The roast is very evident, but it's balanced with a fruity, tangy aspect and some mineral notes in there that really kind of give it a much more composite flavor profile. Before I tell you about the brewing, I need to sip another one. Okay. Wow, the tanginess is real. This is what happened recently. I was thinking I want to get a roasted tea for the winter months. I called our source of Tie Guan Yin. I said, "What do you have available right now?" And he said, "Well, I'll just send you what I have on hand." So he sent us 4 samples, and we liked this one the best, mostly because it represented a standard Tie Guan Yin, but also because the roast was heavy enough and the tang factor is very evident. And that's something very specific and unique to Tie Guan Yin Oolong tea made in the Muzha area. If it's Muzha Tie Guan Yin, it should, or almost indefinitely, will have this processing step where they wrap the leaves after the wilting and oxidation and the cease oxidation. When they're in the middle of the rolling process, they wrap the leaves in a cloth ball, or wrap it into a ball shape with a sheet of cloth, kind of tightly bound, and they put them in these warmers. It's not steam, emit heat. I think it's like 70 or 80 degrees Celsius. But in effect, it's something like the leaves steaming in their own juices. They're not really that hot, but they set for a while they're still semi moist. And this creates a tang in the finished product, or in the brew of the finished product. So that's the 2 most prominent factors in a classic Tie Guan Yin from the Taipei area, Muzha specifically, is a heavily roasted tea with this special fruity, tangy thing going on. What I just noticed, although the tangy factor was really already evident in the first brew, the roast factor changed between the first and second brew, similarly to last month when I was tasting the Dongding Oolong. The first brew, maybe it's just the most outer surface area of the leaves that you're getting the flavor profile from the most, and then they continue to open up and offer everything that the leaf has to offer in successive brews. But the roast factor is more evident in the first brew than the second brew. And the second brew, like last time, I believe, also, it's a thicker, more well-rounded brew. I'm definitely getting a fruity tang. Is it citrus? It's not quite that sour. Yeah, because it's so integrated with roasted and something mineral-like, that is part of the Tie Guan Yin flavor profile in my personal experience, at least. It doesn't really, it's not reminiscent of a particular type of fruit for me. When I was smelling the leaves wafting in the teapot, I was reminded of rhubarb and fruit compote, like a stewed fruit thing, but something as kind of a more distinct flavor like rhubarb. So that's kind of beyond fruit. Yeah, I think this is as a digestive aspect of it. It's roasty, but it's not. That's kind of like one of the aspects of the overall profile. Let me give one more. I think this is the fourth and fifth mixed. It really helps. In fact, in our ongoing offering of this tea, we do our best to allow each batch to sit for at least 3 months, if not more than 6 months, because the roast factor mellows into the overall profile and that tanginess really comes forth in comparison to when it's freshly made. So we want to be able to offer that unique quality of the tanginess that is part of the character of Tie Guan Yin. So we offer it after it has set for several months after being completely processed. The combination of the brews is much more full-bodied. I got something like a sherry, it's getting into that kind of sherry cask whiskey thing now, smoky sherry. Yum. It's pretty powerful stuff. I'm starting to lightly perspire. Some people call that cha chi. It will move your it kind of moves your internal organs, and that's why I think it's good after a big meal, cold nights. Heavy roast, traditionally made Tie Guan Yin from Muzha, Taipei, Taiwan. Spring 2024 batch, having rested for maybe 6 months now, and we think it's just the right time to offer it. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next month.